Welcome to the Untrained Experts, a podcast for combat sports and fight news.
Welcome back to Untrained Experts, episode number 9. What's up, Bri?
What's going on, man?
Man, not a lot, dude.
Not a whole lot. You got a week off from work, so you're happy.
Yeah, dude. It's so nice.
You needed that vacation, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I needed it bad.
Hell yeah. I'm ready for mine, bro.
I
got 12 days off coming up next, or in the end of June. I cannot wait.
Yeah. Trying to get some stuff done this week.
Right? Actually do something productive outside of your full-time job.
It'll be nice to be able to get up early in the morning and just be up during the day, you know?
Right.
Instead of sleeping.
The night shift, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that life gets to you.
That's the one thing that makes me realize how bad I hate the night shift when I'm on vacation or something and I'm getting up at like
normal hours.
Like, 7 every morning. I'm like, oh man, I missed this.
This feels amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
You're able to get up and actually get some shit done during the day.
Exactly.
You can get a lot of shit done before lunch and you're like, whoa, this is a productive day.
Yeah, like it's crazy, bro. There's been days where I've slept like 12 hours just because I was so tired. And then I get up at like 7 in the morning and I'm good to go all day. Like I have a lot of energy and it's like you can knock out so much shit in 5 hours. Mm-hmm. Like right before noon, from 7 to 12, bro.
Yeah, you can knock
be
out
so
like
productive, especially if you have normal energy. Like a lot of people who don't work night shift don't understand.
Yeah. You can do like a week's worth of shit in like a few hours when you're working, like when you're up normal, like with normal hours, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas like our normal work week, we don't get anything done, hardly. With the sleeping and everything. When you're on vacation, you don't have to sleep any of those days.
Yeah.
You can get so much done in like one day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to be productive with a full-time job, man. You don't get much extra time outside of that.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with our shift, you know.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Graveyard 12s is not fun, people.
No. We don't recommend.
Mm-mm. Dude, I got rear-ended this morning.
Wait, what?
I got rear-ended this morning.
What the
Taking
hell?
Maddox to school. We came up to a yield merge over there on the access road that goes to Summer Hill right by Applebee's. And this little old man, he's like 72 years old, was coming up behind me at the light and or at the sign. And as he's rolling up, he said his foot slipped off the brake and he just ran right into the back of my truck.
It's always the old people, man.
I was like, man, I can't believe this.
It's always the old people. I feel like once you get to a certain age, you should have to pass another driving test, literally.
Yeah.
Like, once you get to like 50, you should have to pass a driving test. Once you get to like 60, you should have to. And then 70, you should have to.
He was really
like,
nice. And
if you can't drive a certain speed limit and like you can't react in a certain amount of time to braking and stuff like that, you probably should be on the road. You're gonna end up in a wreck.
He jumped out and come running up there to make sure we were okay. And then I pulled over into Applebee's and I was mad, at first. I was like, I can't believe this shit, man. It's on the same bumper side that they just replaced when I got hit, into 2017 or whatever when my truck was in the shop. And then, he came over and was, asking us if we were okay. He didn't know Maddox was in there. Then he saw Maddox and he's like, oh, you got a baby in the car? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, is he okay? And I was like, yeah. I mean, the impact wasn't really that bad, but it was enough to fold the bumper up and to mess up the tailgate pretty good.
Too, I bet.
Well, he didn't even know. Maddox didn't know what happened. I said, man, we just got rear-ended.
Was he in the back or who's in the front seat?
He's in the back seat.
Oh, was he? Probably just like, huh?
Yeah. He's like, I was like, man, I can't believe this. He's like, what happened? I was like, we got rear-ended. He's like, what's that mean? It's like somebody just ran into us. He's like, oh. So we just pulled over.
Where do we go from here?
Yeah. We pulled over and the guy came. We took pictures of my truck and everything. And then.
How bad is it?
I didn't
even notice it.
The bumper's going to have to be replaced and the tailgate. But other than that, I mean, this...
I guess his insurance paid for it and everything?
Yeah, I called him today. I'm waiting on him to call me back when they're going to send an adjuster and all that. But they had to call him and talk to him about it first, At
least y'all are okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even...
As long as it's getting fixed, ain't nothing to trip about.
There was no, whiplash or anything like that. I didn't really feel it, I just...
Yeah.
I felt it I felt it run into me, obviously, but, I was just like, shit. And
it had to happen to me.
Yeah.
That's all I always think when something like that happens. Just had to happen to me.
I had it happen years ago by a buddy of mine that was behind me, and I was at a stop sign, and the truck in front of me went, and I pulled up to the stop sign, and he thought I was going, so he floored it and just ran right into me from the stop.
Man.
But this time, I was just sitting there because the cross traffic, that light was green, so that traffic was going, so I'm just waiting. And I thought it was going to be the same thing. I thought that guy was going to say that I started to go or something like that, but he just was like, I can't believe I did that. And he's like, I don't know what happened. I just didn't react.
Dude, I don't know. I've been lucky so far driving. I've had a couple of little wrecks, but I haven't actually had an impact with somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've had little stuff happen. Like, I've backed into people, like, their bumpers a couple of times. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I've never had, like, an actual wreck or had somebody rear-end me or anything. Hopefully, maybe that never will happen to me. That would be nice.
Yeah, it's...
no, closest I got to a wreck is... Oh, man. You show me a picture right now.
Yeah, it's pretty...
Yeah.
Tore it up pretty good.
It's not attractive. It makes you want to get it fixed immediately.
I know.
Well, the worst that's happened to me is I had a wheel bearing go out on my truck. I think I told you about that.
Yeah.
And I was just going down the road. Literally, all of a sudden I started hearing a loud noise. And before I can even pull over, my tire comes off my truck. And my truck slams into the ground, like right in the middle of the pavement. Just like digs in the whole side of my truck. And there's no tire to hold it up. And I'm like, this is the worst thing ever. I haven't had that truck in a long time, but God, that was a nightmare.
Yeah.
That truck was my baby. When that happened, I was like, no.
Yeah,
Did not have the money to get it fixed. I didn't have full coverage insurance even.
Oh,
I had a liability at the time, and I was like, I had nothing. Truck was just like that, unless I spent like $3,000 to fix everything on the side.
So did you end up fixing it, or did you just get rid of it?
No, I traded it in for my Camaro that I had.
Oh, okay.
And they ended up fixing up all the dents and stuff in it and making it all look nice and selling it. Don't know who has it now. Hope it's alright.
Yeah.
Probably not. It's probably total. Oh, man.
Dude.
Yeah, what's been going on?
So, I want to talk about the Nike sneakers app. I went on there the other morning to try to get those.
The actual app, like the Nike app, or they have just the sneakers app?
They have the sneakers app that has all the new releases and everything come out on there.
I think I have the Adidas one.
Oh, yeah.
They have one, too.
Well,
you get the Nike one?
This is where the Travis Scott Jordan 1 is releasing on Saturday.
Was so dope, bro.
Yeah. And the resale on it is crazy. So, naturally, I'm going to try and get a pair. I like them, so I wanted to just keep them.
Dude, I love that. I love that brown color.
Yeah.
That matches everything.
The brown, it's like a brown suede and then like a sail color, so it's like, it goes with everything and it looks
literally,
good.
Yeah, you can wear that with literally any outfit. Yeah. It's going to match.
Yeah, you can even dress it up if you want to, and it looks nice,
Yeah, it's not like ugly.
I really like the shoe. I didn't plan on really reselling, but, it's one of those things that you can just throw in your collection, and then later on, when the price gets up really high, if you really want to just throw it out there, you can flip it and make some money.
Easily make some money. Yeah, you get a $200 or $300 pair of shoes and sell it for $2,000 or $3,000. Yeah. That's a big flip. That's like, man, those shoe releases. If you can ever get lucky enough to get one, dude, it's such a good way to flip your money, bro. Yeah.
Like 90% of people going on there were getting them to flip though. So like it's a little saturated now. Like where they were selling for like $2,200.
You really want them when you spend like the $2,000 to $3,000 on a pair of shoes.
Man, I can't believe people are spending that much.
People do that. It's insane. People spend up to $1,000. Most I've ever spent on a pair of shoes was like $250, I think. Yeah. $250, $300, like, around that area. And like that was almost too much for me. I was like, that's a lot for a pair of shoes, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went on there to try to get them, and they dropped at 9 a.m. So I was on there at like 8:45, and I just waited. Like I didn't want to put the phone down and forget or miss my chance. So at like 8:59, I just started tapping the purchase button like over and over again, just so that as soon as it turned green, it would go.
Yeah, and you still couldn't get it.
Literally 9 o'clock, it goes from coming soon to available, but it doesn't go to available. It goes straight to sold out. And I'm like, what the hell? They couldn't sold out that fast. So I go back to it, and they're available. So I go to it, I pick my size, all my information's already in. I go to type in my password, app crashes. Completely had to restart the app. Get back on it. While the app is restarting, I go to my internet browser where I got it pulled up on there too, so I can try from there. Internet browser won't load. Go back to the app. It loads up. I go to cart them again. App freezes, app crashes again.
What in the hell?
I go back to the website, same shit.
I mean, it's like it's probably doing that for a million people.
I tried for 45 minutes straight, and then by the time it finally wanted to try to work, they were sold out.
That makes no sense. It's almost like they They did that on purpose, so like certain amount of people can. Like
I mean,
certain people can get them.
Yeah, they didn't release that many pairs for the amount of people that were wanting them. You know, I've seen a bunch of different numbers, but it was less than 100,000 pairs, which is not a lot.
Yeah,
you know, when there's that many people trying to get them. So
just think about how much money they make just off that one release. Literally, how much money do they make within like?
I wish they would just
30 seconds.
Yeah, I wish they would just make them more available, because Nike doesn't see anything when they're reselling like that. Like Nike's not getting anything from that.
Nothing.
Whoever's reselling them is getting all that profit, you know. So why would Nike just make more of them, and you know, saturate the market so that there isn't resale like that? Like, and then the people who use the bots, you know, they have it set up where these bots like automatically buy everything in every size that they can. You know,
it's like there should be something in effect to block them.
Yeah,
like they should have something.
There's just so many. I guess so many people
can't do that, because I mean, what's the point?
Yeah.
You know, you're letting one person that has like 100 bots buy probably 100 pair of shoes or something.
Yeah, there's one dude, I saw a picture on Instagram where this dude bought like, I don't know, probably 40 pairs of them.
He posted it like proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I used my bots to get all these.
He was standing in front of them.
But he still had to pay that much money for all
Yeah,
of
he
them.
still had to buy them all, you know, what Nike sells them for, plus shipping and all that. It wasn't cheap. But if he plans on trying to flip them all.
Yeah, get rich.
I mean, he can for sure get retail out of every pair. You know, but he can get over retail, because
how much
cheapest,
were they?
They're $175, and then the cheapest I've seen, like the resale on them dropped a little bit when they released again, because they released back in like, I don't know, a few months ago during the Grammys or something. They did like a surprise release.
Yeah.
And then this was the re-release, you know, where they released more pairs or whatever, and I think the lowest I've seen the resale now is like $750.
Damn.
But they were up to like...
Imagine he sells 30 or 40 pairs of shoes. That's $600 profit.
They were up to like $2,200. Yeah, but Nike, fix your shit. It's annoying, bro.
Yeah, like...
I was looking forward to that release for so long, and then...
if they're going to do releases like that, they should make it fair.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they should make it to where there's no way but 100,000 different people are going to get those shoes.
Yeah.
You know?
One pair per person or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know how they can guarantee that.
I see like companies on Instagram who are like, we're giving away 2 pairs. It's like, okay, how'd y'all get those then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's bullshit. It's like those limited releases that don't go to regular stores. You know, there's only certain like, you know, specialty stores that get them in certain areas, and of course nothing around here. You know, and those places are like first come first serve. You know. You got to stand in line. That's where people camp out and shit to try to get them.
Yeah, like on some Black Friday shit. Yeah. Not about that life. Just not.
Yeah, it's just...
I freaking, dude, I'm a huge sneakerhead. Like, huge. I love freaking sneakers.
Yeah, me too.
Love shoes. Like, always looking into new shoes. Like, I stay constantly looking at Shoe Abs, Goat, StockX, stuff like that, looking for new releases. And I love shoes, but I'm not gonna go that far with it. I'm not waiting in line all night. I got better shit to do with my time.
Yeah. Now, if I can't get them on like sneakers is about the closest I come to something like that, where I'll wait a little bit just to try to get in line. You know.
Exactly.
I've gotten lucky on there one time. I've tried buying a few of the things on there, and it never works out. Like, you know, they always either sell out too fast or.
Yeah, when it was really, it's just like when the Yeezys first came out. It was impossible to get those.
Yeah.
Literally impossible. Like, Adidas would crash all the time. It's like, nobody's ever figured out how to do that the right way.
It's 2019. You'd think they'd figure out how to make a
server or something that can handle all that.
A server that you know is going to have that many people on there. They knew those shoes were going to sell out. You would think that between the website and the
why
app.
is your website crashing? Like, you know, there's technology out there that can supply you with the server or whatever you need to have that many people come onto your website, like crashing and stuff like that. You know, maybe I'm talking about something I don't know enough about, but
I definitely don't.
I mean, I know a little bit about stuff like that, but
you
know, I don't know everything. But I don't know.
It just seems
like iffy to me.
It seems like they should be able to have it where it's going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's memes all over the internet about it where people went through the same shit I did. You know,
just hating. Yeah,
they're just pissed off because you know that. You get there and you try to get them, and then everything just crashes, and you don't even get a chance. You know?
Yeah, and you spend you could have been doing something else besides waiting on this stupid app to release this shoe that you wanted to buy, and they don't even want to take your money because you know the website doesn't want to work.
we just got off work. You know, this was Saturday morning. We just got
you
off
were
work.
ready to take a dab.
I was tired, man. I was laying there. I was like, that's why I stayed on it. For, you know, I got on there like 8:45, and I stayed because I was like, if I put this down, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I'll end up missing it. And I'm not. It's not that big of a deal. It's really not that I didn't get them. You know, I wanted them, but it's cool. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
But
might get lucky and find a pair for a good price here and soon.
If I would have fallen asleep and missed them, I would have been pissed at myself. You know what I mean? At least I tried, you know.
Yeah, it's like you knew. Okay, I got on there. And
I did the best I could do. I literally, for 45 minutes straight, I was on there just trying everything I could, hoping that it froze up for everybody and nobody got a chance to get them. You know,
yeah, of course.
By the time it came up, it's like sold out, and I was like, damn.
Asshole.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. Shit, man. We got plenty of UFC to talk about, plenty of MMA to talk about.
Yeah, we got a lot.
I don't know. What should we talk about first?
You just want to talk about UFC 237?
Yeah.
All right. UFC 237 was Brazil card, so there's, I think, every fight had a Brazilian fighter.
Yeah, I think almost, I'm pretty sure every single fight had at least one Brazilian fighter.
Yeah. And every Brazilian fighter lost except for one. It was a bad night, man.
Rough day.
It was a bad night for Brazil.
They have a great fan base. They have a very loyal fan base, man. But they got beat up on Saturday night.
Yeah. The first fight on the main card was Irene Aldana and Bethe Correia. That was a
good fight.
It was a pretty good fight, man. Bethe Correia was actually, I had her winning that fight. Until
Aldana got her on the freaking ground.
Yeah,
dude,
she was winning the stand up though.
Yeah,
Bethe Correia was winning the stand up.
She was not ready for. Mm-mm. She was not ready for that armbar, bro. Mm-mm. She hit her with that belly down armbar. Yeah. Oh my god!
Said she heard it crack.
Well, yeah, because she had literally all of her weight on.
Oh
her.
Yeah,
all of her weight.
Well, she got like a high grip on Betch's back, so. When Bethe was trying to stand up, she was falling over the top.
Yeah.
But she held on to the arm the whole time. So
that had to hurt.
Yeah. Most of the time, that top fighter will slip off as the other one's trying to get up because it's hard to, try to hold on when you're sliding off the person.
Yeah.
And it's late. It's the third round.
Yeah.
They're slippery. They're sweaty.
Slippery.
But she held on to it and got it. Got the submission.
That was a good submission. That was a good fight. That was a good way to start off.
Yeah. That was a really good fight. And then after that, we had Thiago Alves and Starpoli.
Did you catch all this fight? I didn't get a chance to listen to all of this fight.
Yeah, I missed little bits of it. My stream was kind of messing up on me a little bit, but I know Starpoli was winning the fight pretty well the whole time. I mean, it wasn't. I'm not gonna say it was one-sided or anything, but it was. He definitely won. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was. Not real close or anything.
Yeah. Yeah,
Thiago Alves has been in the game for a minute, though.
Yeah, a long time.
I'm actually kind of. I mean, I really haven't looked into that other guy much.
I haven't either.
He's 9-1. He's 9-1. I wonder how many wins he's had in the UFC.
I don't know.
There's no telling. Thiago Alves, he's older though.
Yeah.
He's one of those fighters. He could win or lose. You never know what's going to happen. He's just going to keep fighting though, making money.
Yeah, he's been in the game for a minute. He's a tough dude, though.
That wasn't a bad fight.
No.
I think Loiano just put down a little bit more pressure that fight.
Mm-hmm. And then Alexander Volkanovski and Jose Aldo.
Oh, man. Jose Aldo.
Dude.
I don't know, man. What's crazy is he still has such a good record, even after losing.
Yeah. He's still one of the
Jose
greats,
Aldo
man.
has always been one of the greats. It's just that's a weird loss for him.
Yeah. I mean, before his loss to Conor, he was undefeated for 10 years or something. I mean, he was undefeated for a long time.
I mean, yeah, he's been in the game a long time, and I hope that's not Aldo falling off. I mean,
he just didn't look like himself at all.
Volkanovski's no punk though.
Oh yeah, Volkanovski.
He's 20-1.
He's a monster.
I mean, he's been in the game for a minute, and he's been running through dudes.
Yeah.
So I mean, to be fair, it wasn't like he was just going up against a nobody.
Yeah.
And Volkanovski, bro, the pressure he was putting on him. He had Aldo against the fence literally the entire fight.
Yeah.
I was watching most of it, and the entire fight, Aldo could barely move. And Aldo wasn't putting any pressure on him at all. He had put down no really hard strikes. Volkanovski was just all over him that fight. That's exactly why he got that win.
Yeah. And, I mean, although just legit, he never looked like himself in that fight. He just never was really there. It was weird. It was really weird to see.
Yeah, I hate to see Jose Aldo lose, but
yeah. What's crazy,
Jose
man?
Aldo, whatever you call him, I don't ever know what to call him.
I was calling him Jose.
I think maybe it is Jose.
I think they pronounce it with the J in Brazil.
I've heard even like Joe Rogan and other people call him Jose Aldo.
Yeah, some people do call him Jose. But
yeah,
I don't know. I call him Jose.
Yeah,
he's always
Jose seems
Jose
like that's right. Yeah, he sounds better. Jose Aldo.
Volkanovski used to be a rugby player. And
yes,
he walked around at 220 pounds.
That's what I was just talking about yesterday night. I was like, the dude was a savage, like a rugby player.
Walked around at 220.
Yeah, huge.
And now he cuts to
Comes all the way down to
145.
Yeah,
he's not a very big guy. He's not. I mean, it's not like he's tall or anything.
No, he's not super tall. He was just a huge rugby player.
He had to be super thick.
Bro, he was on roids. Give me a break.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Players.
I didn't know if he was like that or if he was fat. You know, maybe. He could have been just a. I mean, not
rugby.
Fat,
you gotta be kind of fast though. I mean, you gotta have some type of speed to get to everybody. I mean, that's a fast-paced game.
Yeah. I don't know. That's crazy. It's such a weird thing to hear. You know, a guy fights at 145, and you're saying that he used to be 220 pounds. You know, that was his regular size was 220.
It goes down to 145. Like that almost doesn't even sound possible.
Yeah, I think that's why he's so strong. Though.
I mean, that's the thing. He probably walks in the ring at freaking 160.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure he blows back up quite a bit when he rehydrates.
I'm telling, bro, he probably goes up this shit ton. At least 10 or 15 pounds.
That's crazy, man.
That was a good. I mean, it wasn't a bad fight. I mean, Jose put up a little bit of a fight.
For Volkanovski's part, it was a really good fight. But for Jose, it was just like, dude, like it's like he was just wasn't there. It's kind of like the Tyron fight when he fought Kamaru Usman. Like he just wasn't there. He didn't exist. He was in there, but he wasn't doing anything the whole time.
He put zero pressure.
And then at the end of the third round, Jose put his hands up, walking out like he won. I was just like, what?
That's the whole fight.
Like, what are you seeing?
You think you're the people's champ?
Yeah, I think it's like
they're going to win regardless.
Yeah, I think it was like the second round when he went to the corner. They're like, it was the end of the second round when they went to the corner. His coach is like, I think it's 1-1, but it could possibly be 2-0 for you. I was just like, hold on, what? Like, what are you saying? Like, no, you're down to.
You're trying to make him feel good?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the worst thing to do. You need to make him feel like he's behind, so he goes out there and tries to get a knockout.
Yeah, or something.
You can't just let him feel like he's going to coast to a win, and then he gets a unanimous decision.
I really don't think he has been the same since Conor knocked him out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he has at all.
Which his last...
He's been winning. He's had some good fights.
Yeah, I think his last two fights, he's had first-round knockouts.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. He's been on a little run lately, and I figured he was going to do good this fight. I figured he was going to pull this one out.
To go to this fight and then get dominated like he did, I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Weird.
Which not taking anything away from Volkanovski, because he's been good. You know, he's proved himself to be
dude's
good.
Obviously a savage.
He deserves a top, 6 or 7 guy at least, Which I think he's actually in the top 6 or 7 now.
Yeah, he should be definitely after that win.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Volkanovski, I mean...
I don't know what he moves up to. He got a fight of the night bonus, though, for that fight.
Don't we have a fight announcement for featherweight, though?
Yeah, we got one. We got one we'll talk about here in a little bit.
Yeah.
After that, co-main event, Jared Cannonier, Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva, man.
That was it was
disappointing. I don't want to see him fight anymore, bro. Yeah. He's old.
Yeah. It was disappointing.
You're a legend, and you always will be. But what I don't understand about a lot of these older fighters is I get that you love it, but it's there comes a time. A lot of people love their career.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody comes to a point where it's you got to let that go and move on to something else.
Yeah.
You literally got to retire. You need to move on with something else in your life. And I don't think fighting is it for Anderson. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what happened in the fight is
nobody really knows what happened yet. Jared Cannonier was hitting him with the inside
the
leg kick, right by his knee, and he hit him a couple times in a row. And then the last one, Anderson's knee just folded, and he went down to the ground in pain, and they stopped the fight.
I don't want to see that.
It was a weird stoppage too. It's like the ref knew that it's time to stop. He didn't really.
I do. They don't want to see Anderson Silva get destroyed.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of guys get dropped and then get a lot of punches landed on him before the fight stops. And this one, as soon as he hit the ground,
just the refs and UFC period, they have a lot of respect for Anderson Silva.
He must have seen the look on his face. There must have been something
Yeah,
that he's just like, damn,
like,
his knee
probably
is
tensed up real bad or something, and he was like, yeah, he's hurt.
Because even when he went down, he was trying to grab Jared's legs as Jared was coming in. Like, he was still trying to fight, but he was grabbing his knee also. It was weird, man. And then they stopped it, and then he laid on the ground for a long time. And then
Anderson Silva, I just want to see you retire.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see you retire as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
Like, you still sound good. You're doing good. Like, take care of yourself. And you don't have nothing else to prove to anybody in this, in this sport.
I feel like he's gonna be one of the ones that's just gonna end up staying too long if he hasn't already. You know what I mean? Like, when he talks about it, he talks about how much he loves the sport and everything, and he wants to continue, but he needs to go.
Thank God we haven't seen a Chuck Liddell fight announcement.
Yeah,
I hope we never see that again.
He needs to go. He could go compete in combat jiu-jitsu or something where he doesn't. He's not taking all this damage all the time.
As much damage,
he could just go
definitely
do
not
something
to the
like
head
that.
Anyway, he might have little injuries here and there, but
he's got a big name. He could draw a crowd in something like that.
Yeah.
He could make money off
he has
that.
the talent too.
Yeah. Instead of going and doing, I mean, he's one of the best strikers that we've ever seen in the UFC. I mean, he's showing his age now. He's not, he's not what he used to be at all, but he was one of the best strikers.
And yeah, he gave us a really good show against Stylebender, but to me, that should have been Anderson Silva's going out party. Mm-hmm. It was just him coming down to fight the new guy coming up.
Yeah.
And now here you are
fighting, the newer him.
Now here you are fighting Jared Cannonier. You know what I mean? Like, nothing against Jared Cannonier, but like, I mean, you have nothing else to prove to us, and now you're getting, it's almost like you're brittled a little bit. Like, inside leg kicks just destroy your leg. Maybe it's time to hang it up.
Yeah, he's had so many leg problems with the, when he broke his leg on Chris Weidman.
Yeah.
That kick check and snapped his...
God, that was bad. Mm. Yeah, he's just been through a lot in the octagon. I mean, he's a legend, but I don't want to see him get hurt anymore.
And then Jared Cannonier got booed out of the arena down there. Like,
he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, he didn't do anything wrong.
He got the win, period.
Yeah, he didn't even get to talk on the mic.
He just did his job. He kicked it. He did leg kicks, and it hurt Anderson, period. Yeah.
And then he was really respectful of Anderson. He went and checked on him. He, told,
Bro, like I said Saturday night, Brazilians don't give a fuck.
Dude.
You're getting booed out of there. They don't give a shit who you are.
They booed everybody.
If you beat their fighter, you're getting booed to shit.
The only They
got their hoorah at the end.
Yeah.
Though.
The only non-Brazilian that they did not boo was Rose. They didn't really boo Rose. I mean,
because Rose almost died in there, I think.
she was so respectful, which she always is. But like when she was talking, she was thanking them for everything, and she actually got some cheers. Yeah, Rose, where everybody else, no matter what they said, they got booed.
I hated to see her lose. I mean, I like Andrade. She's a badass.
Yeah,
it's like I'm a big fan. Like as far as women, like Rose is probably my favorite fighter.
Yeah,
I love seeing her fight. She's so much fun.
Just her attitude and everything. Like
she's this small girl.
She's so chill.
Yeah, she's super chill and cool, and she shaved her head. She's a badass. Like, but she's at the same time she's super nice.
She's like, I ain't worried about looking pretty.
But at the same time, she'll come in there and beat your ass.
Yeah,
like, that's what I love.
And she's so skilled. Like
she's so technical, bro. That first round of that fight, her jabs were like phenomenal.
Dude,
her jabs were insane. Like she was. Andrade could not touch her.
Her footwork, her jabs, her angles. It was a boxing clinic.
They got to run it back.
Dude, she was messing
They absolutely got to run it back.
Yeah.
Rose deserves that rematch more than any freaking rematch.
Oh yeah, and Joanna.
If that fight stays where it's at, which I see Rose correcting that mistake and not allowing Andrade to do that again to her.
Yeah.
If they were to rematch, I would love to see that rematch. If Andrade beats her again, then boom, that's your new champion. Period. But I think Rose deserves that because she's really proven herself already, like against Joanna, and who was the greatest at the time. And
I think the thing with Andrade is she's just so strong. Like, she tried
to picked her up like Hulk, bro. Like, it's not like that's just like 20 pounds you're picking up. That's over 100 pound woman you're picking up and like slamming on the ground. It's not easy.
Yeah, she's like, when the first time she tried to pick her up and Rose got the Kimura and she wouldn't let it go. And so Andrade had to put her back down because she couldn't do anything.
Rose is so talented, man. She has been working hard. Like she was super talented. Like I did not see that coming out of her. Like did not see her attempting that.
Mm-hmm. And then the second round, whenever Andrade tried it again, Rose went for the Kimura, but Andrade was able to get her hand before she could get it on her wrist.
Yeah.
So that she could get a high crotch. And when she lifted her up, when she went to slam her, they rotated too much, and she just slammed Rose right on her neck.
Right on her neck, man. If y'all go watch that replay, like Rose's neck just like bends.
I thought she broke her neck at first, man, because she stayed on the ground for a minute.
How do you feel about that, man? I don't like these. I don't know. I mean, there's little stuff they don't allow in MMA. But I feel like something like, I mean, to me, that should be a disqualification.
Yeah.
Like,
well, see, I think the thing is
like that is, I mean, you literally could kill somebody so easily. Yeah. Like, she didn't mean to. She was going to slam her on her back or something.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying.
I think it turns out that she ended up getting slammed on her head. But I mean, at the same time, I guess that's not her fault either. She might not be able to control that.
I think the thing is, if
the thing, they would have to probably eliminate slams completely.
Yeah.
You know,
if they could prove that it was intentional, then it probably would have been a disqualification. But you know, when she's holding her up above her head like that and trying to slam her, you know, it's all about the weight and the rotation when the body's coming down of how it lands. Because she could have landed on her shoulders, she could have landed on her back. And there's a lot of different ways she could have landed. It just so happens her neck was, you know.
I just feel bad for Rose.
Yeah, I do
because
too.
I feel like, you know, even if she got slammed on anything but the way she got slammed, I think that fight could have continued.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think she could have
scrambled. She could have got a submission.
Yeah, she definitely could have got a submission. She could have scrambled and possibly got back to her feet after getting slammed.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it worked out. It probably stunned her really bad. It probably scared the crap out of her too. Like anytime you bend your neck too much, I mean that's just so bad for you. Anything could happen. I mean it's not super hard to break your neck. I mean it's not something that could not happen, you know.
You know, one of her post-fight speech, she said, "We'll see if I'm still interested in this. I know I could beat her. I just want to do something else with my life right now. I'm not going to make any decisions right now. It was just hard to keep having fun with this." So, I mean, I don't really know how much she really is into it. You know, whenever they came and interviewed her after the fight.
Over-fighting already?
I mean, in a sense, I think she is, you know. Which, you know, like, whenever they came and interviewed her after the fight, she said it was a huge weight off of her shoulders, losing the belt like that. Which is weird to think about, you know, a fighter that finally makes it to the top, and then when they lose, they're just like, yeah, I was ready to give that up.
Well, you know, and you see that sometimes, you know. It's like, kind of like Gypsy King, you know, his comeback. It's like, but like what his downfall was is he reached the top, and then it's like he felt like he didn't have anything else to do.
Yeah.
Like he felt like he had no other goals. He had nobody else to beat. It's like boxing was his life, and you know, to Rose, it's like beating Joanna, getting the belt, and then beating Joanna again to prove herself even more was like all she needed to solidify that she is one of the best ever, and that she's a champion. She became a champion, and you know not everybody can say that.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Rose is she's an introvert. Like she doesn't like being around people. She doesn't like the fame.
She doesn't want to do all the interviews.
She doesn't want to do interviews. She doesn't want to go on these press tours and everything to sell fights.
She's to herself.
Yeah, she just wants to do her thing with her man and be in her own little space.
And that's understandable.
And I think that's one of the things, like when you're a champ, there's so much stuff you have to do. You know, you don't really have an option. You got all these responsibilities you got to take care of.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff you got to do.
And for somebody like that that's such an introvert, she doesn't want to do that stuff. And I think that, I don't know, I definitely would like to see her back. And I think that she's still probably the best in that division, even with the loss. You know, I think that, she's just so well-rounded. Like she's good at everything. Yeah. She's so skilled. As far as what could be next, man, I don't know. Depends on what Rose wants to do, obviously. But, Joanna, she's already been kind of vocal about wanting to fight again. So
Joanna, I guess, could step up and take the fight again.
Yeah.
Maybe become champion. Joanna is like a fighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's all she wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Rose proved herself. She reached a goal in life that she wanted to reach, and I see nothing wrong if she doesn't want to fight anymore. I have nothing against any fighter who decides not to fight and to take a different route in life ever. She's made a lot of money already too. I mean, Rose has made a lot of money.
Yeah, she's a millionaire.
I
think she made like $230 or $250 for this.
Just for that fight.
Yeah. She still got fight of the night, even though she lost.
Yeah, she's getting paid. I mean, and she's made good money in the UFC. She could do just about anything.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I think her man still fights. I don't think he ever retired yet. So I mean, we don't see him fight a lot, but I think he fights every now and then.
Maybe that's something she wants to do. Maybe she support him from the side. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks because I love watching her fight.
I think
but,
what she says.
I don't want her to fight unless she's in it 100%.
Yeah, I think what she says, she likes the training part of it. She just doesn't really like to go out there and fight. The training is what she does it for.
Yeah.
She enjoys the training and loves to train and all that, but then when it's
she'll
time to go
probably always
fight,
do that too.
Yeah, she said she felt just like mentally exhausted in that fight. You know, like when she got to the second round, she's like felt like she didn't want to be there or whatever.
I think that's kind of how Tyron was in that Usman fight. Mm-hmm. He just like wasn't ready. Yeah, he just like wasn't feeling it. Mentally exhausted.
You also got, Michelle Waterson just won. You know, she deserves.
She's on the come up.
She deserves a big fight. They only got her at like 7, I think.
Dude, she's been on a big run.
Yeah, she deserves a big fight. So I wouldn't be mad if they give her somebody that'll get her in the running for a title shot. You know, her next fight should be somebody who a win will put her in a title shot. You know, and then Tatiana Suarez is about to fight Nina Ansaroff, and you know if Tatiana wins that, she's been on a run too.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good fighters in that division, bro. It's insane.
I think Tatiana is going to be champ one day.
Oh, probably.
Like, I watched some of her old highlights and stuff of her wrestling. Dude, her wrestling is just
insane.
Dude, her
wrestling is insane.
Yeah, she's a savage for sure. So I think
so many good fighters in that division.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see where it goes, and I wish nothing but the best for Rose, whatever she decides.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'd like to see her back, but if she decides not to, I mean, it's one of those things. Though we always say, you know, if you feel like you don't want to do it anymore, get out, because you're already on the verge of, you know, you don't really know what you want to do. So
exactly, it's like if you're not sure, you might want to go ahead and not be in. You know,
don't stay in.
Don't be 50-50 with it.
Yeah, don't stay in and regret it.
It's not worth it.
You know, she can always come back if she decides to retire now, or she didn't have to retire. Just tell them she's going to take a hiatus. Go on a hiatus. Do what you got to do. If you decide you still want to fight,
come back.
Come back. Even if you retire, nobody has a problem. Like, your contract stays the same.
GSP could probably come back tomorrow. We'd all be like, "Yeah."
Oh, man, dude, GSP, he could call Dana at 3 a.m. and say, "Hey, I want to fight."
I'm not retired anymore.
Yeah. Put me on the July card.
I want to fight. Oh man, did you hear about Anthony Johnson?
I did, man. I saw something about it. I didn't read into it too much.
Well, I got a little article here, but he was arrested. I think it was last Monday. I think for misdemeanor battery, and the report says a woman called police to report an altercation with her boyfriend Anthony Johnson. The woman claims she had started to pack AJ's belongings to throw him out of the house when he forcefully picked her up, put her in a football hold, and carried her into another room. The woman claims she was scared due to his size and martial arts experience. FYI, 35-year-old Johnson is a former UFC star who was 22-6 as a pro, with wins over Glover Teixeira, Ryan Bader, and Alexander Gustafsson. Cops say the woman did not have any visible injuries. Come on. No visible injuries. So, the cops spoke with Johnson that night. He admitted he had grabbed the woman and carried her during the argument, but says his intention was never to hurt her. Johnson claimed he simply didn't want to argue anymore. Cops determined Johnson's actions warranted a domestic violence arrest, so they took him into custody and hauled him into a nearby station, where he was booked on a misdemeanor domestic violence charge.
He just carried her into another room?
Yeah. And they arrested him.
I don't really see that being...
But the thing is, he was busted for, in 2009, domestic violence involving his ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
And later pled to no contest to a misdemeanor domestic violence charge. So, I mean... Yeah. But, I mean, he's not, like, beating the shit out of his girlfriend. So he's getting misdemeanor domestic violence, which, it sometimes can be complete bullshit.
Yeah.
Your wife or girlfriend...
You see why they got
your wife or girlfriend can claim that... they hit you, and most of the time you might get a misdemeanor charge if there's any kind of evidence at all. So, I mean,
you can see
I'm not going to say he's a piece of shit because I don't necessarily know. I do know some females can be crazy too, so she might have been crazy, and he might have, picked her up and carried her to the other room and been like, quit acting crazy, you're fucking crazy. And then she was like, I'm calling the cops. It easily could have been a situation like that. So.
You can see why the cops would do what they did in that situation.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's understandable, but especially looking at his history. They probably looked up, he's got a domestic violence charge, we need to take him in.
Think about it from their perspective, like, if you got to be a cop, you got to go arrest Anthony Johnson. Like, imagine the adrenaline rush. Like,
I would smash both of y'all if we got to fight right now.
This dude could take out all 9 of us at one time,
You better have a gun, because that's the only way. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, hopefully he gets his shit together. I hope that was nothing too serious, and hopefully he didn't. Hopefully you're not a woman beater, Anthony Johnson. I'm not going to judge you too hard right now and say that you are, because I don't think that's necessarily true.
Mm-hmm. Another fight we forgot to mention that on that UFC card, on the undercard, BJ Penn, Clay Guida.
Yes.
Dude, BJ Penn, 7 straight losses.
7. That's 7.
His last win was when he fought Matt Hughes in 2010. at UFC. I think it was 137.
Okay, now, I mean, it's one thing to talk about Anderson Silva. It's one thing to talk about a lot of these guys, but why is BJ Penn still fighting?
Dude, I don't know, man.
He's taking it as far as you can take it. 7 losses? How much damage have you taken in those 7 losses? You're getting the shit beat out of you, bro. Why are you risking that?
It's a lot of decision losses.
I know he's made some money in the UFC. Like, retire, bro. What are you doing?
I'm wondering if he's not. I heard in, I don't know, some podcast where they're talking about him, but they said he has a cocaine addiction. He's like addicted to cocaine, so he may be broke. That may be why he keeps fighting. You know, he may just need the money because he's got these issues.
Probably goes all coked up.
I don't know, man. It's crazy. You know, he just had a pending domestic violence thing against his I guess it's his girlfriend. I don't think they were ever married, but they got kids together.
Yeah.
But and then he threatened a farmer, like his neighbor or something, that came onto his land about something. He grabbed a machete and threatened to kill him, recently.
Oh man.
He's had some crazy stuff going on.
CT issues.
I was surprised when I saw him.
I mean, I guess if he's on coke, he would probably do something that stupid too. But
yeah.
What are you doing either way?
He's taking so much damage over the years.
Penn, get your shit together. I don't want that to be the sport. I don't want these guys to get into their late 30s and 40s and start turning into fucking psychos and fighting when past their prime and when they shouldn't be fighting anymore. I'd rather see more, roses that are thinking about quitting fighting than people who are going to stick around like this.
Yeah.
I don't want to see these people get hurt.
For sure. Yeah, at least, like I said, if she's thinking about getting out, it's best to just, go ahead because, we don't want to see this happen to people, BJ Penn's record now is 16-14-2.
That's crazy. He had a good record, too.
Man. He had a good record, yeah.
Why are you still fighting? Why is Dana allowing it? Is what I don't understand.
A lot of his...
Dana didn't want Chuck Liddell to fight. I guess he just doesn't give a shit about BJ Penn.
Yeah. I was going to say, a lot of his fights, or a lot of his recent losses have been decision losses, so it's 3 to 5 rounds of just damage.
Yeah, getting the shit beat out of you. It's not like it's ending quick.
Yeah. He's taking a lot of damage.
I don't want to see him fight anymore. I don't want to see any of these guys who are older like this in here taking damage. I don't even want to see it. I'm not even going to entertain it, really. Mm-hmm. I didn't even care to watch that fight.
There was a lot of old heads on the card, too, because Lil Nog fought on that card.
Really?
On the prelims. Yeah, he fought.
I didn't even know that.
Ryan Spann. It was the first round TKO.
Really?
Yeah.
Still sad.
Yeah, the Brazilians brought out the legends.
Oh, yeah. We got some more fight announcements, man. We got plenty of fight announcements.
Yeah, there was also a Bellator card, which I didn't really. I didn't.
About the Bellator card.
It was watch one or the other, and I chose UFC. I was trying to find somewhere to watch. When they have with that DAZN, it makes it kind of difficult to watch sometimes. That app is not very good and everything. So
I haven't heard one good thing about it yet.
But Jack Hager, formerly known as, I think, Jack Swagger.
Yeah,
when he was a wrestler in WWE. Yeah. This is his second fight in Bellator. First fight, I think it was the first round.
He looks good.
Submission, yeah. Yeah, he definitely, he's got some skill. He was a high-level wrestler in college,
Yeah.
But he fought some dude they got out of, TJ Maxx or something.
Oh, my God, of course.
The dude, he was the most average-looking dude you've ever seen. But it was I think it was a first round submission.
Think he's better than the fighter that Greg Hardy got?
Probably.
They're both probably.
But at least
they're both probably just dudes off the street at the UFC. And Bellator were here's 10 grand. Get in there and whoop ass.
Yeah, he did say something about he was a butcher or something at a meat market or something like that. He was just gonna go back to being a butcher if he lost or something like that. I don't know.
What a joke.
He's 1-2 now. Jack Hager's or Jake Hager is 2-0. He hadn't really fought anybody yet, but this is first. It's literally his first 2 MMA fights
ever. Yeah, well, that's cool to see somebody transfer sports like that into something even more grueling.
Yeah,
something that they're really gonna have to work towards. I mean, I got nothing but respect. And you're 2-0. It doesn't really matter who you beat. It could have been any man in the world.
He's never had an amateur fight.
Exactly.
He's never done. He's never even trained MMA until a year or two ago.
Yeah, it could be any guy in the world, and I would say nothing but respect if you're 2-0. So I mean, hopefully he continues to grow as a fighter. And we get to see him around. That'd be really cool.
And Douglas Lima, Michael Venom Page was the co-main on that card. Yeah, that was nasty.
MVP took a L.
Yeah, That's his first loss.
Fat L.
He was undefeated going into that.
Yeah.
He was 14-0.
And got slept.
It's that weird karate stance he does, man.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's because it's from his kickboxing, you know.
Well, yeah, and a lot of times
he does that same thing Wonder Boy does with the hands low, kind of a squatted stance.
A lot of times it puts you in a vulnerable position to where somebody could easily land shots.
Yeah, and especially
a lot of times those guys are fast enough to dodge those shots, but not in this case.
Against somebody like Douglas Lima,
you can't slip once.
He's so fast, and his kicks are so nasty.
I would love to see Douglas Lima like in the UFC fighting some of those guys.
He's a high level striker, man.
Oh, I've never seen anything but good striking out of him.
Yeah. He's 31-7 now, but he just timed that perfectly, man. Like, you know, MVP does that little thing where he kind of hops back and forth, and when he hopped in that time, he was going to throw a jab, and Douglas just kicked his knee out from under him, and then right when he tried to get up, you know, Douglas caught him with an uppercut and just he was out before he hit the ground.
Yeah, it was done.
And he took two more.
He was asleep.
Yeah, he was out, and I watched the interview where they interviewed MVP, and he's like, you know, when I went down, I should have stayed down and just, you know, let him come to me, or let him, you know, or then try to scramble or whatever. He's like, I tried to just hurry up and get back up, and it was a mistake. You know, I realized where I messed up, and he's like, I'll definitely be back and all that. You know, so
yeah, well, I'm sure.
But this is the welterweight Grand Prix, so that, you know, he's fighting for $1 million in the end of it and a title.
That
you know,
sucks.
so
you don't want to lose out on that.
Yeah. We might end up seeing Douglas Lima, Rory McDonald rematch.
That'd be badass.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they both made it to the end.
I hope they do. I hope they end up bumping into each other again. That would be sick.
Yeah.
MVP, I hope you come back strong though, bro. It was a good fight up until that point.
Mm-hmm. And then
a solid knockout by Douglas.
The main event, Patricio Pitbull and Michael Chandler. And Pitbull won. He's double champ now.
Double champ.
Yeah. It was.
What division are they?
155.
Yeah.
Yeah, he.
For some reason I thought 145.
It was a first round knockout. And
I didn't catch that fight.
I didn't either. I didn't even get to watch any highlights of it. I was reading about it.
I saw the highlights for Douglas Lima and MVP.
Yeah.
And one other fight, but I didn't catch all the Bellator.
Oh yeah, I watched the highlights for that one. I watched the highlights for the Jake Hager.
Well, it's going on right at the same time as you know, UFC, so it's like you kind of got to pick one.
Yeah, and it's hard to find. It's a lot harder to find the highlights and stuff
for Bellator.
You
can find UFC stuff everywhere, man. Yeah. YouTube, everywhere.
Instagram.
Yeah, it's easy. Instagram all day.
I mean, of course, we saw the MVP knockout on Instagram over and over and over and over again because it was so crazy. But when it's just like a regular fight,
every post.
Yeah, when it's like a regular fight you want to see, it's kind of hard to find good highlights for them, you know.
Yeah,
and
man,
it sucks when they're all, you know. Kind of sucks when they're on the same night because you got to pick and choose. You know, you can't watch.
I'd honestly rather like Bellator be on like Friday night.
Yeah.
And then Saturdays are only UFC or something like that. That would be cool.
For Bellator, I mean that kind of would make more sense because, or even if they did it Sunday, just because, you know, UFC's obviously the big name in town, and you're competing with them directly.
Exactly.
You know, you got to know that your numbers aren't going to be as good when you're competing against the UFC, who's been around way longer, and a lot of your fighters came from there. You know?
Yeah. That's true.
But I mean, nothing against Bellator though, because I love Bellator, and they have some really
badass.
Dude, there's some high level talent on their roster.
Yeah.
You know, and they put on some really great fights.
MVP is a high level fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely some guys I wouldn't pick him to win against. You know, and especially now after seeing his vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
But
his last two fights haven't been
the best. Yeah,
they haven't been great. Like all the wrestling he did with Paul Daly, but
he's very entertaining. Like he's a fun fighter to watch, and I feel like he still has plenty of time to get better.
Yeah, for sure. So this coming Saturday, May 18th, we got UFC Fight Night 152, RDA Kevin Lee main event.
That's pretty much the only fight I think that I recognize both fighters on.
Yeah, Neil Magny's fighting Vincente.
That's a good fight.
Megan Anderson's fighting Felicia Spencer. I don't know who Felicia Spencer is.
I don't know. I did Felicia. I like Megan Anderson.
Charles Oliveira, Nick Lentz. I mean, there's not very many. Like, I'll be watching the main event.
Yeah.
Maybe the co-main.
It's crazy to see so many experienced fighters, though.
Yeah.
Like, that really are not even known at all,
Mm-hmm.
not well known at all in the UFC. I still love watching fighters, like, fights like that, you know, that nobody knows the fighters. And you get to actually watch, like, just a fight with two people that nobody really know
Mm-hmm.
of. I love watching. That's why I like to watch prelims a lot. If I have a chance.
Yeah.
RDA, Kevin Lee. I'm really not sure about that one.
I don't know, man, because we haven't seen Kevin Lee at
It's been a while.
Yeah, we haven't seen Kevin Lee at 170.
This weight, yeah.
You know, he was a savage at 155 when he first came in, but then he kind of went on a, you know, his trainer died, or his head coach, I think.
Yeah, and he had a couple of bad L's.
Yeah, so he's kind of he's been in a weird spot because, you know, the guy who's trained him in all of his MMA
170
stuff,
might be good for him, though.
it might be because I mean he has to cut a lot. He walks around pretty big.
He's a bigger guy.
Yeah, he walks around like 195 or, you know, maybe 200.
I think he'll be better at 170.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I like watching Kevin Lee, so I'm excited.
He's still
to see
only
what he
got
can do.
4 losses. You know, he's 17-4, so it's not like he's
still
lost
good.
a few times, but it's not like it's career ending. He's not in a bad spot.
He's got plenty of time. You know, he can win his next 3 fights. You never know.
He can talk. You know, he's got a lot of skills. You know, he's a good asset for the UFC to have. You know, it's not like they're going to cut him.
He's funny.
Yeah,
he's fun to watch.
Even if he's 3 straight losses, he's not going to get cut just because of what he brings to the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's got a lot of skills. You know, when he fought Tony Ferguson, that was a damn good fight.
Yeah.
Until, you know, like Kevin Lee was actually winning. He was actually winning in the first round.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really good fight.
Yeah.
Tony's just one of those guys that's like, if you can't outlast him, he's gonna outlast you.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep putting that same pressure on you the whole time, so you better be ready.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Tony's so dangerous. Kevin Lee, I'm excited to see him at 170 though. RDA is a legend, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
and RDA's looked really good.
You're always gonna get a good fight out of him, no matter win or lose. You're always gonna get respect from him and a good fight out of him. Like, that's why I really like RDA.
I mean, RDA is one of those guys who's like, he wins a couple, then he loses a couple, then he wins a couple, then he loses a couple. You know what I mean?
Like Jose Aldo now.
Yeah, he beat Cowboy in the first round. He beat Anthony Pettis. Then he went on a losing streak, lost to Tony Ferguson, Eddie Alvarez, and then he beat Robbie Lawler, Neil Magny, and then, you know, he lost to Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington. So
who did?
RDA.
Oh yeah,
those were his last 2 fights.
That's the thing though. He's fought everybody.
Yeah. He's fought a little bit of everybody, and I mean, it's like I say, he'll win a few, then he loses a couple, then he wins a few, then he loses a couple, and it's just kind of how
it's always been. You know.
But
it's
when he
crazy
first
to think him and Conor were supposed to fight when Conor and Nate fought.
Yeah,
that is wild.
Mm-hmm.
When RDA got hurt, and they threw in Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nate, we got a Nate Diaz announcement.
Yeah.
I guess if it goes through, I'm not gonna get my hopes up. But they announced.
I think it will, man. I didn't know that they had such bad blood with each other. Like, they hate each other.
And Nate Diaz.
They hate each other. I didn't know.
It's kind of surprising. It just seems like they would be like friends. I don't know why.
It's just been something that's been sticking around for a long time.
I think a lot of people have beef with Diaz though, because he's just a cocky motherfucker.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he just talks shit to everybody. Like, he don't give a shit. That's a good fight to welcome him back to the UFC though, bro. If it actually goes through, like, I really want to see Diaz come back like bad.
Yeah,
like, I love watching him fight. He's entertaining. I mean, he's always got some shit to say, and he's funny.
Pettis was on Ariel Helwani's show, and he said, it's time to back it up. Everything he's been talking, all the stuff he's been saying, and all the drama he's been trying to cause with the UFC vets. All right, let's settle it now. In the octagon, exactly how I want it. Man, I'm excited for this fight. 100% motivated. I want to knock this guy out. And it was Anthony Pettis. And I guess it's that they just had, you know, they've had bad blood with each other for a while. He says he can't wait to hurt him.
Yeah, even Dana White said that they were going to fight on that August 17th.
Yeah, that's
pay-per-view.
The DC and Stipe card.
And there's a bunch of people on that card.
There was Yoel and Paulo Costa. They're supposed to fight on there. Are they still scheduled for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're still scheduled.
Because they were listed as co-main, but now Anthony Pettis and Nate Diaz are listed as co-main. So I guess they bumped Paulo Costa and Yoel back to put Anthony Pettis at co-main.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially if Diaz is coming back.
Yeah, especially when Yoel is always getting hurt or sick or something. So you never know.
Literally.
At least if
don't make him a co-main, because if you do, it's like you can't.
Which I'm not sure that Nate is much more reliable, because
right.
Something's always going on.
He might drop out the first week of August and be like, I ain't fucking fighting.
Yeah. But Pettis said we've always had this drama. Every time we saw each other, something was going to happen. He might have been jealous I was the champ. He wanted a shot at me. He got his Conor McGregor fight and then went MIA. That chapter never closed in my life. So to me, this is something that had to happen. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they had problems like that.
Well, they're gonna get the settle hopefully.
Yeah, and
we got Brian Ortega and Zabit.
Yeah,
that's a good fight announcement. That's going to be it's supposed to be UFC 240. I don't think they know where it's going to be yet.
That's a good fight, man. I think.
Oh yeah, well Zabit. To me, this is where we really. This is his first super high level fight in the UFC. So this is where we really get to find out how good he is, because Brian Ortega is going to do everything he can to bring him down. And Brian Ortega showed us against Max Holloway. He's down to bang if you want to bang too. So
yeah, he's got tons of skills in a lot of different areas. He can
box. Very durable fighter.
He's got probably some of the best jiu-jitsu in MMA. Period.
Yeah, when you think about jiu-jitsu, you think about I think about Brian Ortega and guys like that. So it's going to be a really good fight. Zabit is that good?
And I think Brian's got something to prove to himself and to everybody else after the Max loss. Yeah, he feels like he's got to prove himself.
Yeah, honestly, he does.
And to me, Zabit didn't really look that great in his last fight.
But in either way, for both fighters, whoever wins, it's a way to prove themselves.
Oh, for sure.
It's a great fight. Period.
Yeah,
I can't wait for that one. That's gonna be super. I think that one might go 5 rounds. And that's a co-main probably. Either way, I hope it goes the distance.
Yeah, for sure. And then Tony Ferguson, Cowboy Cerrone.
Woo! I'm excited, bro, but at the same time, I'm not.
I know.
Man.
It's one of those fights
somebody's losing, and I love both of them.
It's the same way I feel, man. It's one of those fights
it's like if Tony wins, he solidifies that he has deserved the title shot this whole time, even though I almost don't want Tony to lose more just because he has deserved this title shot.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And
Cowboy's always going to
they're going to say he doesn't deserve it anymore. They're going to say Cowboy deserves the title shot, which he does if he beats Tony.
Yeah.
Period, he does. It's not a bad fight. It just sucks for Tony to lose. I don't want to have to see Tony lose after he should have already been in a title shot,
It's the perfect spot for Cowboy in this fight because you know how Cowboy will fight anybody. Yeah. But this is a name that if he wins, he gets the title shot.
Exactly.
But if he, it's a big enough name that's going to get him some notoriety. It's going to get him a payday. So, it's kind of like the perfect spot for Cowboy. But when you look at Tony for being out as long as he's been out, and then, which is not really that long. His last fight was Pettis, so, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Like late last year, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
So, it's not really that long. But, just coming off a little bit of a layoff, and I don't know, it's a tough fight to come back to.
Very
tough.
But
there's not going to be any easy fights. Like we've said before, he's beat so many people, and he's, I'm going to stand by. I think he's the best in the division. I think he's going to be champ. If he wins against Cowboy, he beats Khabib.
Yeah, I think Tony can beat Khabib. I think he really can, or Dustin for sure.
Yeah,
I think he outlasts Dustin in a war.
Yeah. Because
Tony is just
the pressure,
such a savage. Nobody has better cardio than him.
Man,
nobody.
Yeah, nobody.
Dude would be round 5, like smashing your head in the ground. He doesn't care. I love watching Tony fight. I hope he comes back strong, just as strong as he did against Anthony Pettis. I'm excited to see him fight again. And I love Cowboy, bro, and I do not want to see Cowboy lose, but I gotta go with Tony on this one.
Yeah,
I'm just on Tony's side, and I think Tony's gonna take it. I think Tony is just so tough. And Cowboy's on a run though, and Cowboy's running through good fucking fighters.
Cowboys look so good lately too.
The Cowboy looks more legit now than he ever has. He's on fire, and I'll have nothing but respect for whoever wins this fight, and I can't wait to watch it.
And that's a stacked card too. That's the Henderson, Marlon Moraes, Valentin Shevchenko, Jessica Ai.
Hell yeah,
Jimmy.
We got so many good cards through the summer, June, July, August. Nothing but good cards. Yeah. Nothing but good fight nights.
Like literally, that whole main card is like pretty stacked. There's like one name on there I don't really know.
I'm ready to see Henry Cejudo lose. So we don't have to hear about that.
And that's the same
wrestling anymore. That's so crazy though. I cannot wait to watch Tony and them fight.
Even the prelims on that card are stacked. That's the Tatiana Suarez, Nina Ansarov, Aljamain Sterling, Pedro Munoz.
Dude, that Aljamain Sterling, Pedro Munoz fight is gonna be fucking good.
Ricardo Lamas.
There's so many good fights.
On the prelims. All those names
are all prelims.
Yeah.
Carolina so many good fights, dude.
Dude, that's good.
Can't wait for that card.
That's a stacked ass card. That's Saturday, June 8th. It's a pay-per-view.
We also got Max Holloway coming back.
Yeah.
Frankie Edgar just announced just a couple hours ago. Super excited for that. I think I definitely think Max takes it against Frankie Edgar, but Frankie Edgar, I mean, he's been in the game for a long time. I mean, he's not somebody you're just gonna go in there and whoop. Yeah. But it is also Max Holloway. I mean, so
Frankie's one of those dudes, man. He's so damn tough.
I mean, Frankie's 23-7. The dude, I mean, he's been nothing but good in the UFC, and he's lost to nobody but like savages.
He's never been knocked out until Brian Ortega knocked him out.
Exactly. He doesn't. I mean, it's not an easy person to beat.
Yeah, it's gonna be. But the thing with Max is just the pressure. That's the difference in all these fights. Max is the pressure he puts on.
Ortega bad too.
It's so much pressure for so long.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Exactly.
It's constant pressure, and it's like over a whole fight, he doesn't slow down. He never gets tired. It's like his cardio might be the only cardio that'll match Tony's.
Yeah, Max. Yeah.
He might be the only one.
I don't think he could ever beat Tony at 155 unless he really solidified himself in 155 and kept fighting there. I think maybe he could one day, but
he'd have to be there a while and adapt.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to stick to the 145 for right now, I think.
Because Max just wants to box. Tony's so skilled on the ground. Exactly. I don't think that'd be a great fight for Max, but I don't know. It'd be fun to see one day, maybe.
Yeah, I'm ready to see that fight though.
Maybe when Tony becomes champ, Max wants to go back up and we do a champ for champ thing.
I'll be super down for that.
That'd be cool. But
that'd be badass. Only other do we have any more fight announcements? I don't think we have any more fight announcements.
Yeah, I think that was.
The only other news I have is those charges on Conor McGregor were dropped.
I saw that. Imagine that.
On him for the only guy's falling on the ground. Yeah,
it's
pretty obvious that people just try to get attention.
Yeah,
and they try to cause problems against celebrities like that for no reason. I mean, he probably instigated the whole situation, and that's why the charges are being dropped anyway.
Yeah.
Or Conor just gave the guy a lot of money and said, "Shut your mouth, you little bitch."
Yeah, for sure. He was asking for a lot of money too. Like he wanted emotional damages and shit. Like, come on, bro.
You broke your phone. Here's $500.
He was wearing a man purse. If that says anything about him.
Of course he was.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Man, I don't understand. People are just so stupid.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
I think that's about it, dude.
We talked about everything.
Somehow we covered everything pretty quick.
Yeah. Wasn't bad at all. Yeah. Good pod, but everybody out there, follow us on Instagram. It's Untrained Experts.
Yeah, Untrained Experts.
Yeah, Untrained Experts on Instagram and Facebook. And if you can, leave a review on the podcast. Give us 5 stars if you can. And anybody out there that's listening, communicate with us and let us know anything we can do better. I guess that's just about it.
Yeah, just if you're listening, you're liking. We're seeing the downloads. So, somebody's listening.
Yeah, we know somebody's out there listening.
Yeah,
we hope y'all are enjoying, some of the information we bring and some of stuff we talk about. We're still trying to get into this thing. We're going to continue to grow the podcast and try to be the best we can. But anybody that can give us feedback, that would mean a lot.
Yeah, if you're listening and you like it, share it with some friends or whatever. We might do some kind of giveaway here pretty soon if we can get
100%.
We can get some more Instagram. Get some people following and liking our stuff. Man. Yeah,
we really need the support, but. Till next week, this is episode 9, Untrained Experts. See y'all later. Peace.